Hey YouTube, I just got an order from Walmart at walmart.com. I went on there to see if the shoes that I bought from them are still available. It's been a few years and my shoes are starting to wear out, just the tennis shoes. And normally I don't buy any shoes at Walmart, but a few years ago I ran into a pair just kind of by accident. And I bought them and they've been really good. I've actually enjoyed them quite a bit and they were extremely affordable. In fact, I kind of lucked out and got them on clearance. And so I looked just a few nights ago and they were discontinued. But they do have a newer version. It's almost the same thing, just different colorations and just slightly more aggressive. The outer sole is more aggressive. And they're now labeled, instead of just a running shoe, they're labeled as a lightweight trail shoe. So I'm like, that's cool. Just slightly more aggressive in nature. And I'm like, I could work. So I ordered them. And then I was looking at tarps that they have. And they have some new tarps. And they were actually, tremendously marked down. Just like that shoe. Even though that shoe is fairly new, it was like half off. And I'm like, man, it's my lucky day. So I got me a nice tarp, a nice 10 by 20 foot tarp. It's a 10 mil tarp. It looks really nice. On one side, it's reflective silver. On the other side, it's brown. I'm like, that is really cool coloration. So I got my shoes and my tarp, and I was like, what else do they have on Walmart? Because it's been a long time since I bought anything on Walmart's site. And I rarely, almost never even go into a Walmart anymore. And not only because there's really not one available in my area, but because I just don't like going into those stores. It's always loud, or you got a lot of strange people around you. Some people smell, some people just look really weird and funny. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just saying that there's a lot of funkiness going on in Walmarts. Plus, I think even more so than any of that, there's a lot of harshness of light. Like the light, there's like glaring light, there's a lot of fluorescent lights, it's just harsh. And then, the PA system is always typically cranked up too far. It's like way too loud in the Walmart. And when they do the PA announcements for an override at the cash register, it's all like blaring and the speakers are like distorting. At least that's been my experience. It's always been really weird at Walmart. So I really try to limit myself to not go to Walmart, but maybe no more than a couple times a year. Because of this, I've just kind of checked out and I kind of just have no interest in doing business with Walmart until recently when I was looking for shoes, which led me to those tarps, and I ended up getting a tarp and the shoes. And then I was like, okay, they have groceries. Let's just see what's going on with the Walmart grocery section. Well, in the last few years, they've added a lot more groceries that are available to be ordered online, to my surprise. I'm not sure why they don't advertise this more. This is something that, maybe they do. It's just been because I don't watch TV and I almost never even listen to radio. Maybe they're on there advertising this. Maybe I'm just missing it because I'm not tuned in. And if you know for sure that they do advertise, feel free to share it in the comment section. I really would be interested in knowing if they do advertise. But I looked into it, guys, and there's a crap load of stuff that they sell. They even will ship you ice cream, packed in dry ice. I'm not sure about every type of perishable item, but there was a lot of perishable items because once you get over $35, it's free shipping. And it's not just free shipping, it's free 2-day shipping. And I can tell you that I timed my shipping and it was exactly 35 hours from the time that I paid for it online until I got it. In my area, they're using FedEx. I have heard that they're typically using FedEx more than UPS, but I think they're using both. And it just depends on the infrastructure in that area that you live in. But wow, fast. I'm talking fast. 35 hours is ridiculous. And so I was like really happy with that. I thought maybe it was like, cause they say like 2 business days. I thought maybe 2 business days to even get the order processed. And then after that, it would be shipped to you. I didn't know exactly because sometimes Walmart's a little generic on their statements, but no, it was actually like shipped within a few hours of me paying for it. And by the time I actually got the confirmation saying that it was shipped, a few hours later, it was actually delivered. So I was like, wow. So anyways, I ended up getting some peanuts and some raisins and cashews, almonds, all that good stuff. And it all looks good. It's all very high quality. In fact, it's better quality than the dollar store stuff in my area, or even, the grocery stores in my area. Well, there's actually just one grocery store, but It's a very small grocery store. But the whole fact is, and what I'm trying to say is that, man, it's an option. It's an option. They have fair prices, if not decent prices. Well, in particular, the shoe and the tarp, it was actually exceptionally priced items. These items were really actually very good deals. Like my shoes were $15 for name brand decent shoes. I may have lucked out because it was on sale, but holy moly, $15? I mean, give me a break. That's awesome. And my tarp, a 10 by 20 foot tarp, reflective tarp, okay? 10 millimeters thick. That's freaking thick. For $20. In fact, I think it was like $19.88, I think was the exact amount, but about $20, right? I mean, for that size of a tarp, that's humongous. That's a freaking great deal, if you ask me. And I have to say, if you're just looking for more convenience and you're also looking for some groceries, man, if you're like me and you hate going to grocery shopping, maybe you can just get all your non-perishables on Walmart.com. And then on the way home from work, for example, you could just pop in to whatever's convenient for you and get your perishables. So you would have your non-perishables sent to you, and then the bulk of your perishables you just get on the way home from work, and you can just kind of pop in and out of the store, and you don't have to linger. So you don't have to get all 50 items that you typically need to have your groceries for the week, And it really kind of maximizes your time. I really like that a lot. So it's just a thought. It seems to be excellent in terms of service and reliability. And I'm going to continue to use this a lot more. And so now I bought so many raisins and nuts that I think I'm good for about a month. But other than that, maybe like once a month I'll place an order just to kind of restock. But I priced, the same things that I got on Sam's Club website, because I'm not a member anymore. I used to be, but I'm not a Sam's Club member. And it was actually cheaper at Walmart than what I got than if I got it at Sam's Club, is what I'm saying. So you got to be careful with Sam's Club. You really do. I mean, only in certain items it's a better deal. In fact, a lot of items like these nuts that I got were actually more expensive at Sam's Club. So you have to really have an eye to the price per ounce on some of this stuff and break it down because, you got to be careful. Walmart's a little slick like that. So anyways, Walmart.com, check them out. Unless, you have very particular items, I wouldn't even probably worry about going to Sam's Club. Unless you live by one and you just like to walk it. I know there's a lot of preppers online that love to walk almost on a weekly basis, if not even more, even a bi-weekly basis. I know people actually personally that go to Sam's Club a lot and they like to just walk the store and look at prepper items. And that's like a hobby for them. And I mean, I'm not into that, Now, years and years ago when I used to live in a larger city, I would go maybe like once every month or every 2 months, and I would walk the Sam's Club when I had a membership, and it was kind of fun. But back in the day, though, I wasn't as hardcore in terms of prepping, so I didn't look at everything as a prepping item, but I had it in the back of my mind, and there was a lot of things that I did buy for prepping. But I think that, unless you are in that situation and you want Sam's Club to be your hobby, there's really not a lot of reason for just the standard size family to get a membership, in my opinion. But once again, if there's certain special items that it just happens to be cheaper at Sam's Club and you can recoup the membership cost over a year, then by all means get the Sam's Club. But the things that I buy are actually cheaper on Walmart's website than on Sam's Club website. So anyways, thanks for coming along. Hopefully this might be helpful. Check out Walmart.com. I don't get paid for this. I don't get anything special for this. It's just a heads up for loyal subscribers and people who are interested in just alternative ways to get gear. A lot of us just think that you have to go to Amazon's website, but you'd be surprised about how many more items that are online than in the store on Walmart.com. You'd be surprised. So you can get a whole echelon. It's almost like it's like a version of Amazon. Like Walmart's website is so extensive. It's almost like Amazon Part 2, if you will. And I can't say that, all the prices are as good as Amazon, because every once in a while I found things that were not very good in terms of price. But there are times I found things cheaper on Walmart.com than on Amazon. So if you're really kind of set up like maybe trying, you're placing a larger order, or there's a lot of little individual items in your order, don't just default and think, oh, I'm on Amazon.com, this has got to be the best deal. No, because Amazon.com is really not always the best deal. In fact, there's been a few times that I was like, whoa, I have to remind myself, because it's so easy to log into your Amazon account and just start buying things and just making blanket statements saying, this is a good deal, when sometimes it really isn't. And there's times at campingsurvival.com, walmart.com, there's a whole host of sites that are cheaper than Amazon sometimes. And then, of course, there's those times, too, that Amazon blows everybody out of the water. And you're like, how can they even sell things for that price? They must be losing money. It must be just a promotion. It must be a loss leader, they call it in that world. And that's just how that works. But anyways, always be aware of all of your options. And if this can help you streamline your day, minimize heartache or headaches, if you will, by having to deal with crowds of people or going into loud, noisy environments or environments that you're not comfortable with. Like, I don't like going into big stores, especially Walmart, when there's all these, typically kids screaming or yelling or throwing balls back and forth, or going in the sporting goods section and taking the bikes off the rack and riding the bikes. At least in my area, they do that sometimes. They ride the bikes all around the store or get the skateboards out. And it's like crazy. It might just be because there's a lot of rednecks in this area, but daggone, I am not going in there. In fact, I don't know if I want to ever go back into a Walmart. And I certainly don't do the Black Friday thing. I have in the past, and it was horrible. Half the people are wearing pajamas. Half the people need to take a bath. And let's just be nice about it. But the whole thing is that we can choose. We can choose now, how to use our time more efficiently. And as many problems as I have with Walmart, the website and what the corporate Walmart's doing is making it so much more user-friendly that it's a no-brainer, in my opinion. Why drive there? Why deal with it physically when you can simply, with a couple clicks on a screen on your phone or on your desktop or laptop, can get the same results, and you be even more efficient and probably even save money, because you don't have to drive there and your time can be used for other things, maybe to make more money or to be with your family. So I think it's really important to look at time management as part of your prepping strategy. And so I think Walmart.com is part of this strategy for some people. As always, thanks for watching.